Hello. So, I'm looking a bit of a stick. Is that my Jamie and the Magic Torch t-shirt? Jamie and the Magic Torch. If you know that, you're old. So, Darren and Isaac have just been into town to the school uniform sale. And I'm showing you what they've come back with. So, they've got everything that we needed and one extra thing that we didn't need, but they didn't charge for it. So the thing we didn't need was school PE top, which is this. Now, news to you people in primary school, when your kid goes to secondary school, they have branded PE kits. Hopefully by the time any of your kids that I know that have kids in primary school get to secondary school, have done away with this. So, it's got the school on the back. These are about 20 to 25 quid each. So that, they were selling them for £2, but the stuff that they got came to £12 and the woman says, "Oh, just give us a tenner," so that was free. He's already got 2 tops, he didn't need that, but the rest of the stuff he did need. Now this is a school tie, purely because I bought him 2 and he lost one, so I like to have one in backup. He still has one, but that's a backup tie. Yeah, it doesn't even, whoever owned it before hasn't even written their name on that, so that's the tie. Isaac prefers to wear, not only is there school shorts and school PE top, there's a school tracksuit. So Isaac prefers to wear the joggers with the PE top, and then obviously in winter he can wear the half zip. So again, it's a school crest from O'Neill's, which is fucking expensive. They're basically really long legged joggers, and these brand new are, that's Darren, excuse him for being bloody ignorant. They're, I don't know, 35 quid or something for that, which is ridiculous. This is the half zip that goes with it, and this, guys, is still labelled. I cannot believe that they've actually given £2 for those trousers and £2 for this. It's brand new, half zip, school embroidered crest, obviously, St Louis Grammar, from O'Neill's, still has its tags on. It's the school on the back, and it's just like a little half zip, £2. I worked out that there's £160 worth of kit here if you buy this new, and Darren spent a tenner. This is also, this is the main thing we wanted. If I just got this, I would have been happy. So this is the school blazer. Nice crest. This is brand new. You can tell by feeling it, you can tell by looking at it. Completely stiff. The only thing I can think is potentially this is an age 16 and they're quite big. Let's see. Now we know I'm not the slimmest person in the world. I mean that. Darren's coming in.
I saw the oh, look at you. Oof.
What, in a
all
boy's
the ladies there want the pieces of foreign hunk, so they'll give me the best deals.
So this is a brand new. I'm thinking maybe this was bought by someone for their kid going into 6th form that potentially maybe ended up not going into 6th form. And it hasn't been worn. It's absolutely brand spank new. These brand new cost £80, a fiver.
You could wear that with nothing under it.
No. So he's got a blazer, he's got a school tracksuit, he's got a school PE top, and he's got a spare tie for £10. And I am delighted with that. That's amazing. 160. I mean, he needed the blazer. As a matter of fact, he didn't need the blazer because last year, when we went to the same sale, they've only had it last year and this year. We got him a blazer for last year, which did him the whole year. But we also bought him an extra blazer because there was one in a bigger size. They don't tend to have many larger sized ones, they're all smaller. And we just bought him the big one just in case, and I thought, that's never going to fit him, it's too big. It fits him. So he would have been able, it's exactly the same size as this one. And he could have worn that this year, but it's not in bad condition, but it's obviously in worn condition. This is brand new, so he'll be wearing this one this year. Brand new blazer, because we would have needed to, a blazer's something, they do need. But yeah, £10 for £160 worth of kit. Happy days. So I just switched that on to show you. I did my rock fit today. I was quite pleased because I managed to do a bit more than I did last week. I'm taking you with me tomorrow night for something that quite unusual. I am going for a spray tan. Darren's probably disgusted. I always think, now I don't mind pale skin, but pale skin's lovely if you've got flawless skin and you're slim. If you're chubby and you've got scars and you've got stretch marks, pale skin it shows every tiny little thing up. I know I can't do it for going to Florida because the heat and sweat and all that stuff, as much as I would love to, but I have had a spray tan in my life once. It was when I was going to a work formal, and to be honest, it was because I got so much hassle from the girls at work about being really pale that I sort of felt, okay, let's try this. Now, when I got it, I actually really liked it. Darren has seen photographs and doesn't like it at all, which is probably the reason I have never, ever got a spray tan since, because I liked it because it made my eyes bluer than they are. But then I thought, you know what, I'm doing something purely for someone else's preference as to how I look that I would quite like to do, and I thought, no, I'm going to go and it's not something I'll do often. I just fancy it. I could have one and then think, no, this is a pain in the arse. The only thing I remember about having it is I smelt like biscuits. I smelt a bit weird. So it's one of those where you go in. I refuse to go in and have someone spray me. Absolutely not. This is one of the ones where you get an app on your phone, you scan it at the door to get in, there's no one in there, you go in a little room, there's a booth, you know the one that Ross does on Friends where he goes orange? Well, that's the same one I had last time. You pick your shade, mine won't be too dark because obviously, I mean, look how white I am. But yeah, I'm doing it tomorrow night. So I'll take you in with me, obviously not into the actual spray booth itself, but I'll take you in and show you the machine and all the little bits and bobs. And then you can see the before and the after.
Need to pause it a second. Isaac!
That's Isaac's tea's ready. So yeah, that means all our tea's probably ready soon. So I'll get off this. I just was pleased to show you our haul. And yeah, I'll switch you back on tomorrow evening. Oh, I'll tell you something else I can film tonight. Isaac's having his summer hair done tonight. So this year he is having a red streak here and a red streak here and the rest black. So we shall be doing that this evening. I'm talking to the camera. I just wanted to show what you've managed to get. That's brand new.
Yeah, no.
Fantastic. Look how tall he is.
I'm not that tall. Pretty short.
I'm 5'6". I am not short.
5'4".
No, I'm not 5'4". I think I'm actually 5'5.5", because I've lost half an inch. But yeah, brilliant. So I shall show you Isaac's hair, obviously, after he's finished that. That's not like you to come in here
Pizza.
with your dinner.
I'm showing the camera my pizza.
Right, brilliant. So yeah, we'll let you see that later, and then it'll be on to tomorrow's spray tan. Right, I shall check in later on. Right, I look so old. Don't look at me under this light. Right, so we're doing Isaac's hair. Suze would have a heart attack if she watched this, so because she's a hairdresser and I have no idea what I'm doing. But Isaac's not looking very hard. No, I know what I'm doing, but I mean it's not going to be technically hairdressing. So just be careful that don't spill. So I've got this that I actually bought for myself a long time ago. It's red. It's got a lightener in it, which is this oxide and this. So we add this to this, we put it on. It's probably going to take about an hour to lighten it. Unfortunately, half of Isaac's hair length is black dye, which I've explained to him is not going to lift like his roots.
No,
and
cool though.
I've said it's going to be brighter here and it's going to go down to darker.
No,
He's happy with that.
That sounds good.
So we're putting red over once this is done, and then the rest of his hair that's left is black. So what he wants is, where's that phone?
Over there.
Right, I'll show you, I'll attach a picture of what he wants, and then we can see how we managed afterwards. So yeah, I'm not going to film it going on. I'll film it in the stages of process and see what it's doing. So you can see
It stinks.
it's like a gingery colour. The light's terrible here. This is the only way you can see. So I'm like, do I put it on the roots yet, or do I put it on the ends at the minute and then the roots later? I think I'm going to put more on the lengths and not do the roots yet, and then do the roots in about another 20 minutes, because it did say up to about 50 minutes, so to 60 minutes. So you can see the colour of that. It's actually a really nice colour. It's almost like the colour of my hair. It's like a gingery colour. I really like that. The thing is, when I put this bleach on the roots, it's obviously going to lift this up blonde, and then this is like a auburny colour, so when I put red over it, it's going to be darker here than it is here.
That's
but I
what
have
we call
explained this. So, on to the next bit. Put your hair up so they can see how light the roots are.
very light at the top.
So you can see it's darker at the bottom. I don't want to leave the bleach on any longer. Isaac quite likes the idea of it
The gas.
really light down to dark, so we're going to rinse this off and then we're going to do the next bit.
Yellow.
Right, this is obviously the ends are much darker than you can't see. But this, we're going red over this. So this is going to be fun because I have to do this bit, which I've put back. There's a little slice of black both sides, then a big slice of red, then the rest's all black. So we're going to see how we manage. This is the messy bit.
Ears.
Right, we're going to go dry it. It hasn't... Oh, Izzy, don't do that! You've got dyed hair on the fucking wallpaper. Jesus.
No, I don't. It's dry.
We've made a fucking mess
Jesus.
everywhere, and he's flicking hair that has just been newly
It's
dyed.
dry.
Oh, Isaac, it's dry. We haven't dried it yet.
Nothing's dripping off it.
Right, he doesn't understand that the force of doing that throws a load of water off his hair. If there's red dots all over that, you can explain to your dad how it got there.
Where?
Right, we're going to go dry it and then see what it looks like. Right, we're finished. You wanted 2 red streaks with black at the front, black at the back. Do you want to turn around and look at me?
I'm pouring a drink. Yeah. Oh yeah.
There. But we missed a tiny bit at the back.
Here.
You can see the wet bit where I've had to put more black dye on. So even though that has been dyed and that has been conditioned and dried, I now need to wash that bloody bit off. But the rest of it's looking good, so...
Better than I expected.
It's what he wanted anyway, so... Regardless of people like it or don't like it, it's what he asked for, so... Happy days. Right. We'll leave that half hour and then get that rinsed off. Hello, and I think welcome to a new weekly vlog. I don't think we've vlogged this week yet. I am having a spray tan today for the first time in about 20 years. It's one of those booths that you go in that there's no one there, so it's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm going to try and bring you in and film some stuff, like beforehand and what the thing looks like and stuff. It's the first thing I've actually booked for myself in ages. Got a phone call from my dad. Have you doing anything today? I says, well, we're coming in to take you to the doctor because he's been complaining about his shoulder. So we booked him an appointment. I need you to take me to A&E. And I'm like, why? What's going on? I found a lump. And I'm like, where? On my chest. Anyway, multiple questions. It's somewhere near one of his nipples. And I'm like, you wouldn't go to A&E with a lump. You would go to your GP. Right, well, we'll do that then since you've booked the appointment. So, I don't know if there's more to it than he's saying. I have no idea. But, yeah. We'll go do that and hope that it's nothing to get unduly concerned about. Hopefully it's like a cyst or like a fatty lump or something like that. But I don't know why he thinks he would go to A&E with a lump. I've no idea. So I've no makeup of any description. I've no moisturiser.
You got the phone behind me, Isaac?
Barely.
No deodorant, no creams of any description because you're not allowed. So let's hope I don't sweat.
Let's hope you don't do Friends.
Oh well. That'll be amusing for everyone else if I do, won't it?
We'll do down
Look
that
how
part.
red them.
Down that part of town when you come out walking like that.
Well, orange. I'll be orange for the
No, when you
12th.
come out like Ross.
Oh right, you mean so he was like looked a different race, you mean? Right. Meaning because the bottom area of town is full of fucking hell, woman. How fast is that?
I don't give a shit. I've already made a request to Archie at local MP. I haven't responded. Yeah, he got it about a month ago.
Doesn't surprise me. So yeah, I'll let you know. I'll give you a bit of feedback later about my dad. I'm gonna see if he has to let either me or Darren go into the doctors with him, because anytime my dad speaks to a doctor about anything and you say, well, what did they say about this, what did they say about that, I don't know, I couldn't hear them. So he's gonna have to let me or Darren go in with him, because, and he wouldn't think to ask questions that are relevant, like timescales for stuff, like if he's been referred somewhere. So at least he's,
Give me the direct numbers so I can chase them if they don't get back to me.
yeah, so I think he'd probably prefer Darren to go in because he'd be less embarrassed, and if there's anything he doesn't want me to know, he'd probably trust Darren would keep it to himself. Well, I think Darren would maintain a confidence unless it was something he felt was an issue or a worry that needed to be dealt with. But you know what I mean, a man's not going to really want his daughter in with him while he's
Ever a car broken down or crashed it or moved. It's because it's hazard.
So yeah, I was thinking, oh, doing something today for myself. I haven't done anything blatantly for myself in a long time, and then get this phone call. I need to go to A&E. It's
It's
like,
not coming, you're alright.
can you see well around that?
Clear. He's got his yellow vest on. Maybe it's just one of these biker ones, but what a stupid place to stop.
Yeah, right on a corner. It's like, it's the only corner that he's actually on. That
Yeah.
It's straight road leading up to it and straight road after it, but he has decided he's going to park right on the corner. Honestly, like, there's no common sense. So yeah, I'll switch you off. Isaac's, oh, what do you see? Yeah, we showed you his hair last night. There it is. You can just about see it in the back. Came out okay. I had to do a little bit didn't catch with the black last night. The bleach must have hit it and it was a little bit orange. So after we'd finished and dried everything, it was like, ah, shit. So we managed to tie the rest of his hair up in ponytails and just do that bit. So we only had to rinse and dry that one little bit. So it seems okay now. So he always has a trendy hairdo for summertime. It used to be a mohawk and now it tends to be just weird colours. But it's really hard to do weird colours when your base is black dye, you know what I mean? It leaves you nowhere to go, as I know very well. My hair's still bright red roots, but it's not quite as bright as it was. That clarifying shampoo lifted a lot of it down a bit. So I'll switch you off and switch you back on again later on.
Sharp Friday.
Yeah, Germany got knocked out of the World Cup last night. I don't know why Darren's so happy about that.
Because it never happens to Germany like that.
Well, that's how people feel about England.
It always happens to England like that. That's
England
the
always
difference.
gets through to the end.
Yeah, that's like
They always are in the last group. Always.
Germany always managed to sneak it through, and then Holland as well.
Right, I know everyone watching this is English. Well, there may be a couple of Americans, but anybody that watches my vlog is English. As a non-English person, Darren loves to see the big teams go out, like Germany. He's happy about that. But that's how everyone else feels when England's in, because they're so arrogant.
No, they're not. That's just a media thing that's pushed.
Well, whatever it is a pain in the arse for everybody else. It's like it's coming out everywhere.
Yeah, but you go to any country, and they'll be in Germany. They're singing.
Yeah, but
And it's all over their media.
They didn't do it in Ireland. They don't do it in Scotland. When they got in, they just enjoy being there.
It's pushed by
Darren
the media in
won't
a
have
different
this.
way. It's pushed by the media in a different way. Like when they say
but-
England keep on going on about 66, they don't.
They
the
do.
media does. The media does, not the English fans.
Yeah, but everybody has to listen to it.
But that's not the English fans.
And if
That's
you're
the
not
media.
English, it's a fucking pain in the
It's like
arse.
Scotland. Oh, we once got a goal against Brazil. It's like,
I
why are you
never
telling
knew
us that again?
I didn't know that.
That's pushed all the time. Every time I mention
I
Scotland.
know about
World Cup.
1966 though. I can
Yeah.
even quote you the actual guy when the goal was
Yeah.
being scored. Every TV show you watch, they're talking about it.
And I'm quite
In the
sure
adverts,
Scotland
it's
or
all- you see,
Ireland
he's
have won it.
arguing, it's
No,
like-
I'm quite sure they'd be doing exactly the same as well.
There's like a core, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 teams that every other country like to see getting put out. And the reason they like to see them getting put out is because it's become so boring, because they're always the ones. This year's World Cup is a little bit more interesting because bigger teams have been knocked out by smaller teams. Like Paraguay has just knocked out Germany, and it's like, that's unprecedented. It's like, you what? So it makes it, not for me because I don't like football, but for people that don't have a team in it, and don't have somebody to get behind, it makes it more interesting than other years for it to be a little bit different. So you're always going to expect to see, usually Germany, Italy, Spain, England. There's like about 6 teams, and every year it's the same. You know, I don't remember the last time a complete and utter underdog got through to like the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, the finals. It's always what you would expect, and for every person that doesn't have a team to get behind, it's like, oh, again, is this really hideously overpaid bunch of millionaires going to win, or is this bunch of hideously overpaid millionaires going to win? And I just can't be dealing with it. I love to see a team that play fairly, that don't, right, example, the Italians have got a really bad reputation for throwing themselves on the ground when there's nothing wrong with them, and I have watched matches and they do that. So people don't want to see Italy progress for that reason, because some of they're dirty players. But I would like to see, the only thing I can keep referring back to is Cameroon, because I don't really watch the World Cup. I used to years ago, and my granny was still alive in that time, so that was, Jesus, that must have been over 30 years ago.
You were saying
94, what's that, 32 years ago? Jesus. So that was brilliant, because it's like these guys never expected to get as far as they did, and they were joyous in it. And was Ireland in that same year? That's why I really enjoyed that year, because again, they're like, "Oi, we got this far, we're singing, we're happy." And when they went out, there wasn't this sense of absolute and utter devastation. It was like, look how well we did, we got this far, and they celebrated it. And you know, I just don't like to see the whole, we expect to beat this team, and if we don't beat this team, there's going to be people ripping the arse out of everything that happened, and every ball that was kicked, and every penalty that was taken, and judging. Do you remember the year at England, 2 black players missed a penalty, and there was racists everywhere because these 2 lads, and it's...
Yeah, there was also a hell of a lot of support for them as well.
Yeah, there was, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But
The media
there's
again
just
likes
an
to push
overall,
one side.
yeah, I don't agree that it's just the media. There's an awful lot of England football fans that are that way. I'm not saying they all are, but if you watch anybody interviewed, all of the fans coming out, what do you think? What score do you predict? 3-0. It's never like, oh well, we might get 1-0, it might be 2-1. It's the match that was quite recent that England only scraped through, that they were everybody was going 5-0, 3-0. It's like, why do you assume that? Why are you so arrogant that you assume that?
And I guarantee there was people they spoke to, and they said, "Oh, we're not putting their comments on TV. It's not exciting enough."
So the English media want to make the English football
all-
fans look like pricks.
No, they always
That
like
makes sense.
everything to be, wow, it's amazing. When if the sport to someone actually about football, like, I think they're up for a tough test against Dr. Congo, because they're big lads, and if they play like they've been doing, they're going to get a long ball over top, and they're going to get beat like Iceland beat them a few years ago in quarterfinals.
Anyway, I want to see. I would actually watch the final stages if teams got through that didn't normally get through. It would be more interesting to me. I'm not interested in watching the same
2 in
old
2 games.
2 in 2 games. What?
Paraguay got through. Morocco knocked.
Yeah, but
Holland out.
are they like fair players? Are they good players? Are they dirty players? Because that makes a difference for me too.
No, they're quite fair.
You know, I don't like to see a team that's throwing themselves on the ground and using the time and using, you know, stoppage time and all that.
Well,
You
then
know,
you've
like
got Argentina, Spain, France, Brazil.
Can't be doing with all. I see, I don't like any of those teams, because they're that little group that I keep talking about that I don't like to see. And I'm sorry,
that's
England
correct.
fall into the same group for me. Obviously, they won't for you because you're English. But if you're not English, the way you view all those other teams is the way non-English people view the English team, which, you know, is fair for you to feel that way about Paris and all the ones you just mentioned, in the same way that it's fair for people to feel that way about England that aren't English.
They do go down like the big show. It's the European way of football.
The whole of Europe does that.
It's common in France.
You won't hear criticism
No,
about
it's
England,
not.
but-
I'm just saying what it is. It's most of the teams wouldn't be able to play in the English leagues because it's too physical, because they don't allow physical
Wait
contact.
till they play fucking Dr. Congo, then we'll say about physical.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of these, like Argentinian sort of stuff, their gameplay wouldn't work in English football because it's too physical, and they just I'm shot. I'm not saying people don't dive in Premiership, because they do, but I'm just saying other like Spanish league, Italian league, they wouldn't do it because it's too physical.
I just want to see. I'd like to, right, people have said the World Cup's great because it's something positive in this time of all the shit that's going on, which is, fair enough. And people are saying, all of this is proof that normal people from different places can get along. The governments are causing all the problems. I don't know enough politically to comment. But what would be really nice is to have that same feeling that they had in '94 of joyousness, of celebration, of not like, I don't know what way to put it, like almost nastiness, almost like when a team goes out, let's all celebrate that this team have gone out, and let's slag off every other team, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. I want to see teams there that are enjoying being there, that are having fun, that are happy, that are celebratory. That's what I want to see, which is why I want to see smaller teams get further. And I think this year is one of the first years where there's been quite a few shocks. I'm sorry about talking about football. I know most of you can't stand it, but it's what's the word, relevant right now, because it's it's happening in it. So I'll just be interested to see what happens, because quite a few big teams have gone out, and I mean Germany, funny enough, would have been one of the teams I would have supported back in the day, because you have to pick somewhere, and purely because I've always loved German as a subject in school. Lothar Matthäus used to be my favourite player. I think it was East Germany at that point, because the wall hadn't come down.
It was just it was West Germany.
West Germany, sorry. But he was a fantastic player. He was like, certain players are a joy to watch, and he was a joy to watch because he was quite fancy with it. You know what I mean? He was just able to get through so much of the defence, and it was like watching Barnes and Beardsley from Liverpool. I used to love to watch them. But
the thing about Germany going out is they lost on penalties. Germany don't lose on penalties.
Let me put it a different way. I think it's hideously unfair to go out on penalties, but I love to see it. If my team, and the only team I would support would be Ireland or Northern Ireland, for obvious reasons. But I wouldn't want to see my team doing penalties, because I think it's such a horrible way to go out, and it's such a lot of pressure on people going, what, on those hideously overpaid football players. But it is, they're all young lads, and the pressure for the whole world watching and your whole country, and you could be the one, you could be the, what's your man that put it too high, Stuart Pearce?
Stuart Pearce,
oh
yeah.
Jesus, I was watching that one, it was awful.
Yeah, that was Euro 96.
So that's the time period I would have been watching football.
When they were wearing grey for some reason.
So yeah, I don't like penalties as a way of going out, but as a viewer, it's exciting to watch penalties. It's one of the more interesting parts about football, is when it gets that far. So, but when you're doing something like the World Cup, and was it last time, loads of matches went to penalties, tons of them. It was like all over the place. It's like, Jesus Christ, how many times are we going? It's like penalties again. So we shall. What are we in now? Is it the quarterfinals yet?
No, it's last 32 a minute.
Or last 32?
It's knockout. Yeah, they put more
Christ.
teams. I think it was 48 teams this year.
Fucking hell.
Biggest one, yeah.
So how long is this going on for?
It finishes, is it July 12th, something like that?
Oh, so that's not 2 weeks. So they're going to be down. They're going to have finished in 2 weeks.
Well, there's last 16, quarter-final, semi-final, final.
Well, we'll see what'll happen is when we get to quarter-final, then I'll pick someone to go for. When I see who's in. So quarter-final's like 8 teams, is it?
Yeah.
Right, so when we're down to 8 teams, I'll pick my favourite. Yeah, I don't mind so much watching the final few matches, but
It's like Japan were really unlucky against Brazil.
Brazil's a
Sweet.
team I don't like to see get through
Nope.
either. This
Japan
sounds
could have
awful.
done them, but they didn't.
But I'm sure the Japanese aren't used to doing very well in like football.
They're getting better, and they've actually got a plan they've had for the past decades, where they aim to be a top team by 2050, and they're building towards
Well,
it season by season.
I hope they
and
do well.
It's working.
Again, smaller team.
They're not like saying we're going to be good in 10 years. They're saying we're going to be good in 50 years.
Yeah, so they're working towards
Yeah.
well, it's 24 years now, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because they've been working on it a while and they're getting there now.
Why have you been talking about football for 20 minutes?
I have no idea, Isaac, it just happened. Because the World Cup's on right now, so it's relevant. So I was meant to be going off, wasn't I? Right. Yeah, that was Darren's fault because he
Got to use that word.
said Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is a German word that I'm sure you know what it means, but it basically means to take delight in another person's misfortune. And it's a word that Darren likes. So yeah, that's how we got onto that deviation.
Einsteiger.
Believe me, I don't talk about football generally by choice. I just thought I'd give you my viewpoint about the teams in the World Cup. But Isaac's got no interest in football, much to his dad's distress, I'm sure. To be honest, Darren's the only person I know well, apart from my dad. And my dad doesn't watch all of the matches. He tends to watch highlights of some of them. He's not arsed either way kind of thing. But I don't know anyone that likes football particularly well. As far as I'm aware, Alan Kermit doesn't watch football. I know Dave doesn't like football. Kelly hates football. So, and in America, if Kelly or Shannon is watching this, football's a completely different thing. You call it soccer, don't you?
Soccer.
So are you guys behind anyone? Is America playing?
Yeah.
Are they still in?
I think they are, yeah.
So there you go. Are you behind America in the World Cup or are you not arsed? Let me know. Right, I'll switch you off now. I shall update you later as to my dad, and I'll hopefully still be going to my appointment, and I will take you in with me and hope that just I thought they were going to turn in front of me.
Straight over.
Yeah, I shall
Getting
speak to
warm
you
again, isn't it?
later. This is being properly tested on a filthy bloody carpet. Doesn't look any different, you know. Okay, so here we go. Here on the right for our spray tan. I have to scan in, so I can't really scan in and keep recording, so here we go. That's me in, easy enough. Here we go, this is the room. Make sure the door's locked, it says. If you me, I will. So this is our booth. And this is our little table of stuff. Watch the tutorial, watch the 2-minute video, protect your feet, protect your hair and face, apply blending cream, practice poses, Jesus, choose shade and start. Right, positioning. Right, I'm hoping I've got enough time here to do everything, so I need to stand like these. Right, it's like walk like an Egyptian, isn't it? Right, okay. Shit, I have no idea. Right, it's gonna be one of these ones because it's the lightest ones. I'm gonna go for, should I go for light or medium? Caramel bronze, clear. Exactly the same shade as caramel bronze, but goes on clear, meaning no transfer to clothes or bed sheets. Right. Should I get double leg spray? I think I'll do double leg spray. So do I want a 23 or a 26? Warm golden brown tan with a caramel undertone. Exactly the same shade as this, but clear. Right, I'm going for 26, guys. And yes, I have brought my tripod. Thanks, Suze. So, what the fuck are these? Nose filters. Nose filters. Right, we'll keep that out. Disposable thong. Sticky things for my feet. Right, we're not taking our clothes off, people. Don't panic. Lip balm. What, you have a whole lip balm to yourself? Happy days. What's this supposed to do? Stuff it come in your mouth? Apply barrier cream, palm, fingers in between. Right. What's that? Hairnet. Right, okay, we need that. Let's do the hairnet first, guys. We can get a laugh at that. Keep my ears out. There, it's lovely, lovely. Let's do our barrier cream on our hands, in between our fingers. Include it. Right, and someone says do it on your toes as well. Like you, well, you see me ending up with white toes. Yes, I know you can't see me. Right. I don't want like. Right, let's put these on my feet. These are stickies. Jesus. Oh, I suppose men use these as well, don't they? I'm like, they're big. Right. So we've got our feet, we've got our hairnet, we've got our lip balm. I'm going to put my nose filter in. And now I'm going to get undressed and go and do it. And you'll not see any difference because it takes 6 to 8 hours, and I'm going for the clear one. I'm going for a 26. Wish me luck. Oh, don't want me to let you see inside. Right, so fucking hell, how am I supposed to know where to stand? Oh, well, there's a video apparently, isn't there? Right, I don't know where the fucking video is, like. Right. So that's me done, people. It's cleaning itself now. You won't see anything until, obviously, I just realised I've got holes in the back of my dress and I've got no pants on. That's great. Right, thankfully the car's not too far away. So we'll let you see it probably tomorrow. Okay, so I'm back in the car. Obviously you're not going to see any difference for quite a few hours, like I said. Darren was waiting in the car. We're just going to pick up Isaac from the... Is the door locked? Huh? Just go in. Is it locked? Just go in. Oh, right, I'm trying to get away quick and he's fucking ringing the bell. My dad probably won't even hear that. Right, Darren went in with my dad to the doctor, and the doctor's referred him to a breast clinic in Antrim. He thinks it's cancer. So he's been referred on a fast track of 2 weeks. So it's not looking particularly good. Apparently there's a discharge from it as well. I didn't think it would be that because it's a large swelling and it's sore, and the one thing that they always tell you is it usually won't be painful and it'll be like a hard lump, but he said it started off like that and now it basically he's left it for months, and it's now quite a large swelling underneath one of his nipples and it's got discharge. It's like a yellowy colour though. The main warning one for cancer is a bloody discharge.
Crusty, said.
Still sounds more like that gynecomastia or some sort of a infection to me.
Yeah, well, hopefully it is. Hopefully it's going to be a waste of time. That's what you want to happen.
Only 1% of breast cancers are male, and in a year there's only, it's either 300 and something or 500 and something men diagnosed every year in the whole UK. And if you know the figures for women, that is very, very low. So he would be hideously unlucky if it was that. So we can just hope for the best and try not to dwell, because that's not going to change what it is one way or another. And I don't want to.
Well, I'm glad the doctor's treating it as a red flag. 'Cause
Yeah.
Some might not. Some might go, oh, well, we'll see how it goes for a few months.
Yeah, it's better that they treat it and
Yeah.
you know, see that it definitely isn't that before.
They told him they have a scale of like coloured flags, and he said red flag is the most urgent, where we need to find out immediately what's going on. He says, this is a red flag,
Right.
so I'm getting you straight in.
And the shaking thing, I've never raised, my dad's got a hand tremor. I've never raised it to him, but he said, oh, I'll say to them about this handshakes as well. And I said to him, I says, I think that's alcohol. He says, what? Why would it be alcohol? I say, I said, because you're drinking every day. Just because there's stuff in the house doesn't mean I'm drinking it. I says, yeah, but the stuff in the bin does mean you're drinking it. I says, it's none of my business, but I said alcohol withdrawal gives you the shakes. And he was sort of more or less like, oh, rubbish. He went down to the doctor. What did the doctor say? Do you drink alcohol? Anyway, Darren was stood behind me dad, and the doctor said, do you drink a lot? And Darren stood going that, and my dad said, oh, well, I'll go out on a Friday.
I think you better jump then.
But do you drink anything more than that? Well, I'll have a couple of cans.
He said,
And the
"What, on
doctor's like,
Friday?"
every day? Well, yeah, every day. Yeah. He says, that's excessive. My dad won't think that's excessive. My dad's of the Rabsines, but if you're old enough to know who that is, a lot of rubbish sort of thing. So the doctor says, basically try and cut back a bit. Don't stop entirely, because if you stop entirely, it'll be worse. And he's got ibuprofen gel for his shoulder, but he is being referred for that for probably another, like a scan or an X-ray for that. But the cancer thing is a bit concerning, to say the least. I'm trying not to fixate. I always fixate. This one thought I wasn't fixating when he was. Of course I was fixating, but I was doing it privately. Didn't want to be doom and gloom to him that was going through the bloody thing. That's Stephen, yep. So we're just picking up Isaac at the park at the minute, who had to go to the park skateboarding when we're meant to be on visiting my dad. So we're just picking him up now. Stephen's filming Isaac on his skateboard.
I'm sure it's riveting stuff.
Well, it'd be good to have some footage to be able to put it in my vlog for you to see. I've never seen him skateboard. I can see it a little bit in the rear view mirror.
Do you remember that Iron Man footage? One for the boys.
Yeah.
Just threw a toy on the floor. One for the boys.
Here's one for the boys, and they threw an Iron Man toy on the floor. I don't know what the hell that meant. So yeah, I'll keep you updated obviously with anything that's happening, but obviously we'll be taking him straight up. If that turns out to be that horrible thing, that's both my parents, which means my chances are even more
I'll
so.
be ringing in a week. It says, maybe in about a week. I said, well, I'll be ringing in a week if I haven't heard up, and then I'll chase up and say, last minute appointment.
So I'll go, I shall check in tomorrow and let you see what's happened.
Hello.
Hello, I should have filmed my legs so you could see how white they were.
You tell that like £5.
Actually, I'll film my legs when I get home because they're still really white. Darren found money again, he found a £5. I've never known somebody that finds money constantly.
I've always got one eye to the ground.
Have you got any footage of you skateboarding, Isaac? 'Cause I've just seen,
Yeah,
well, send me some of it so I can put it in my vlog.
they're not very good.
It doesn't matter, it's just interesting. There's me on the curb. Right, I'll switch you off. I'll speak to you later. I said I would show you how white my legs are. There you go. That's how white my legs are. And that's Molly. So, hopefully tomorrow I won't quite be this colour. Right, no makeup on yet. I hate it. I hate it. Why is my face so much browner than... I'm going to put makeup over my face. I don't think... This is the lightest one. But the worst thing's my feet. I look like I've got that thing Michael Jackson had in Patago. Would you see this? I think I got barrier cream on the top of my foot by accident. Look at that. My legs aren't much better. They're really patchy further up. I don't want to show you. I feel it. Why is my face so much darker? I think that'll be a one and done. I don't think I'll do that again. There she goes. These green glasses don't... I thought I was in for the night, but I have to go pick Isaac up, so I've taken off my contacts and put my glasses on, which really don't go... Look at how brown my face looks. Darren keeps making jokes. Hang on. No, I'm not going out. I put it back in neutral. Calm yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. I've discovered a band called Creeper. And I really, really like them. They're quite old school goth, but they're a really young band. They sound in places like 69 Eyes, a little bit like Sisters of Mercy. Really old fashioned for the age that they're a young band. I really like them. Creeper. Oh, look at my tan. This is them. You hear what I mean by them being quite... Oh, fucking hell. There's a ton of shite and I'll tell you in a minute. I'm gonna have to pull over and sort that out. Oh no, it's alright. It's fallen down a bit. I'll let you hear the chorus of this to hear what I mean about the style. Get what I mean. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. Boot's full of crap because I've started the process of clearing the garage. So what is in the boot is bin bags upon bin bags upon bin bags of paper that I have fastidiously separated any shit out from so it can go into paper recycling. It's basically I have kept a box every single year from all of Isaac's school years, from preschool right through, and I'm like, I don't need the stuff from first, second and third year. The stuff I need to keep from last year is the stuff that he's going to need for his GCSE, which I'll keep. So I've got rid of all paperwork from first, second and third year. I've got rid of anything that isn't cutesy stuff from primary school, so I've kept all his drawings. Clearly I've put them all in scrapbooks before anyway, so every single year has got a scrapbook filled with all of his drawings and stuff like that. That's the only thing I am sentimental about. I'm sentimental about nothing else apart from Isaac's school stuff and, you know, like his school reports and little bits, that sort of thing. I even threw out a massive plastic box, well I didn't throw the box out, full of cards because I've kept Christmas cards and birthday cards and anniversary cards and Father's Day or Mother's Day, all of that, I've kept them all, but it's got to the point that I now have big massive plastic tubs full of them, and I'm like, am I going to look at these? No. And yeah, it might be nice to have certain things, but it's getting, I just want a complete clear out. So I've got a big tub full of Isaac's cards up until his 10th birthday. I've thrown out everything after that because there's cards for his birth, there's cards for his christening, there's cards for his communion, confirmation, Easter cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards. So every single card that Isaac received from he was born until he was about 10, I've got in a big box, all put in scrapbooks. Anything, I just thought I can't keep keeping cards because I'm keeping plastic box after plastic box after, and I don't have the fucking room. I'm trying to cut down as much as we can. Most of the stuff is Isaac and Darren's. The only stuff I had hoarded was Isaac's school stuff. So I've got it down to, there's these boxes you used to be able to get in B&M. They've got like a leather look about them, but they're not cardboard. And they've got like press studs to put them together. And they're basically, they look like shoe boxes, but they're much bigger. So I've got 3 of those. One has got preschool, P1, P2. One has got P3, 4 and 5, and the other's got P6 and 7. So I've got 3 boxes for all of his primary school stuff. I don't think that's too bad. And they're not massive big, these are like, they're about twice as, would you say that they're not twice as wide as a shoebox? They're like a boot box. If you have a pair of boots, they're like, each of them is about the size of a boot box. So 3 of those. And then I have got a plastic tub full of all his cards, and I've got a plastic tub full of everything from last year that he needs to keep. And that's it. So it's basically 2 plastic tubs and 3 of those cardboard things. And I had originally 6 cardboard things, so it's down from 6 to 3. And I had an extra 3 plastic tubs, so I've got rid of 3 plastic tubs and 3 cardboard boxes. Obviously they're going to be used to store something else. Also in the back there was this canvas wardrobe that's fallen to pieces, but it's what they were all stacked inside. So Darren's taken a bit of it to pieces, and it's going to go to the tip tomorrow. Next job is 2 wardrobes that are in there, very skinny, only about this wide. See if a charity shop will come and take them. They've got stuff in it like Darren's fancy dress stuff. He needs to catch a grip of himself because I'm sick of it, honestly. So I want to get stuck into this garage and get as much done as I can, because I've been nagging Darren to cut this stuff down for years. He's not going to still, because there's loads of stuff that I want gone, but he's like, oh, that'll be worth, so we'll sell it, and then it will sit for sale for years. He did this with an electric car thing like a little electric Jeep that we got Isaac from a charity shop. I'm now stuck behind a tractor. And he painted it up like the Mystery Machine, and Isaac loved it, and we had really good use out of it. But then at that point, he put it up for sale. No, he couldn't put it up for sale because he needed to do this and do that to it. But it followed us. You know how many times we've moved house. I think I've moved house in my life 13 times. Me and Darren together, he moved from Yorkshire down to Nottingham, and then we moved, so that's 1. Then we lived there together. Then we moved to a second house in Nottingham, that's 2. Darren never really liked Nottingham. The second house he preferred to the first. He just didn't like the area that we lived in at first. We were getting our cars scratched and all sorts. For the complete opposite reason to what you think. We were the only white people in the street, and they took issue with, I don't know, so they scratched our car all the time. So that's 2. And then we moved back to Yorkshire because Darren's mum had been diagnosed with cancer, and you know, we knew it was probably going to be terminal. So that was our first house in Saltaire. We moved, I say we've always rented. That's 3. Then we moved from that house in Saltaire to Silsden into Darren's dad's house when he moved in with his now wife, and we paid rent to him. And then we moved when shit hit the fan with his family, basically. And I'll not go into that again, but it was a case of, if I'm to maintain any kind of relationship with his family, I can't live anywhere near them. And he felt quite similarly, so that was 4. Was I at 4? So we moved from Saltaire back to Northern Ireland, which we would have probably needed to do anyway, because then my mum got so much worse and they couldn't cope by themselves. So that's 2 in Nottingham, Saltaire, Silsden, back to Ballymena. House in town for a few months. There was so much wrong with it. Our next door neighbour was a complete bigot that used to play marching band music, bang the walls and swear at us every night because we were Catholic, and he didn't want us living next to him. So we moved from there out to Martinstown, which was a little village, and it was the beautiful house, the 4-bed house that was like 450 quid a month. That's 6. Then we moved from that into town, was it? Into town, house in Ballymena. The reason we did that is because the person that rented our house we rented from wanted to have family move in. I don't know if they rented it or bought it, no idea. So house in Ballymena, which it turns out had the electricity and gas and heating was dangerous. Letting agent wouldn't do anything about it. So that was 7. So we moved back out to Martinstown again because a house came up, and we were in that for a few years, and then perfectly happy there, but then a housing association house came up in Carrigan, and that's where we are now. So me and Darren together have lived in 9 houses. I didn't know how many it was, but for me it's 13. For me and Darren together it's 9. So I have moved a lot, and the amount of times I have carted Darren's shit from one fucking address to the next, over and over and over again. And this fucking Jeep went everywhere with us. And I mean, it's a Jeep, it's big. And in the end, he ended up giving it to one of our neighbours who had a grandson. It's like, you could have done that 8 years ago. So now, any toy that Isaac has ever had that he no longer wants and has no interest for, and it doesn't have any sentimental sort of thing, oh no, we can sell that, someone will buy that. And it's like, but nobody's interested in buying it. It's like, it's been up for sale, but he just won't have it. He doesn't want things going to a charity shop that he thinks he can make money on. And I'm like, fine if with the room, but we don't have the fucking room. So if at whatever stage, if I end up ever moving into where my dad's living now, ever, I don't know how we're going to fit in it because there's no garage. And Darren has got our attic where we're living, which I can't get into because you have to go up a step ladder, and I don't have the agility or power to get up in. Anyway, that is filled to fucking bursting with Darren's crap, including about between 15 and 20 cardboard boxes full of LPs that he has not played since I've known him. Honest to God. I've never, it's like Mr. Trebus. Have you ever watched Mr. Trebus, the Polish guy that he basically just had a little path through his house? The newspaper was like up above his head. He was a hoarder. He was like a famous hoarder. Mr. Trebus. That's Darren. And Isaac's getting pretty much the same. He just keeps buying shit. And Isaac's bedroom is tiny, and there isn't room for his shit. So that's the plan. We're started on the garage. What I need is to get Darren the fuck out of the way for a day, doing something so I can go in and attack that situation and get rid of a lot of stuff, because I know too well. No, but we'll do sell this. You see, I would have all the toys backed up and into the charity shop, and they'd be away, they'd be gone, they'd be out of my face, they'd be. At the minute, I have got so much stuff up on Vinted, I can't even tell you. And then some of it is worth it because I'm getting like a couple of really old handbags that my mum had bought for me years ago that weren't really my cup of tea, to be fair, but my mum bought me them. And they weren't expensive or anything, but I mean, I got a tenner for one of them, and £8 for the other. And then things like, I'm trying to think, can't remember, you know, like, well, we bought Isaac a pair of Vans that he wore about 3 times and he grew out of them. Things like, I got £8 for those. So t-shirts and things you're only going to get £2 at most for. But oh, please don't be a fucking speed camera. I'm doing 35mph down the fucking Fraser Road. That's where I got caught the first time. It's so easy. It's so, when you're doing 30mph, it feels so slow in certain roads. So I've said to Darren, these things are staying up unvented until we go to holidays, and if they're not sold by the time I go on holiday, they're going to charity shop. But he won't get rid of his, I will get rid of mine. But if I can clear enough space in the garage, and I'm going to try and get some racking, you know, like garage racking for one side. I can't. The dream is to have the whole thing like that. I can't afford it. And if there is room, if I can get rid of enough shit, then I will put the stuff that I'm selling and unvented into the garage on the racking, and it can sit there because it's not in my way. At the minute, I'm going to pick up Isaac. Am I going the right way? Yep. I'm going to pick up Isaac from Randallstown. He is out there with Katie and Lily. I think him and Katie's going to end up going out, you know. Seems really nice little girl. She's 15 I'm talking about. So I don't know who else has been there, but I know they're both there today. So it's good for him to sort of get out and about and, you know, mix with different people. And, you know, I'm glad that he's friends with girls as well, and he's not one of these lads that's like, oh, I don't want to be a friend with a girl, ooh, cooties, unless he's interested. I don't know, he's never expressed any real interest. I don't know if he likes any of them or not. I've no idea. He's never really expressed an interest. I think tomorrow night there's like a thing out in Glenravel every Friday night. It's like a youth thing. Basically, it's a lot of teenagers get together and faff about, and Daniel, his friend, goes to that, so he'll be going to that tomorrow night. And then on the weekend, I think he's saying Stephen, excuse me, so I'm taxi driving up to Randallstown, which is about 25 miles away, so it's a 50-mile round trip, which we also had to do earlier to drop him off. This is quite a long update, apologies. What else can I tell you? Oh, Molly. So last night, Molly came over looking quite shocked, and her little back legs were wet, and it's like, fuck, what's going on here? And I says, has she peed? And Darren went over to check where she was lying, and he's like, no. Honestly, check a thing yourself, Lisa. And then later on, the same thing happened again, and he's like, she's pissed herself. And we're like, oh my god. So anyway, gave her a wash, and we took her to the vet today. They've done some bloods. They've given us a little tube to try and get a urine sample. That's going to be fun. Every time she goes out for a pee, I'm saying to Darren, you need to be trying, I'll take it later. I said, but do you think you're going to be able to get it in one go? Probably not. But anyway, so he hasn't started trying to get this bloody pee sample yet. I've just realised I haven't put the hopefully I'll not need the sat-nav. So the guy phoned back from the vets, and he said that, what did he say? What was he actually phoning back about? The bloods. What the fuck? He phoned back about the bloods, but I don't think there was anything untoward showing up in the bloods. He thinks it may just be an old age thing. Molly's 14. But there's a new thing that's come up that it might be called Cushing's disease. Now Molly has started in the last few months being ravenously hungry constantly. She's just constantly foraging everywhere for something to eat. And believe me, she eats more than enough. She started drinking a bit more recently, and now she's had that. We've only caught her have that accident a couple of times. Although in the last few weeks we've caught pee inside the house, and I've been blaming Dobby, but I think it's been Molly. So that the carpet shampooer has been out several times, shall we say. She's peed on the sofa twice as well, which is like, we've got a leather sofa, but the first time she did it, we were out, and we don't know how long it's been there. So Darren got this enzyme stuff, he like injected it through the sofa cushion into the foam. But we have to get a new sofa at some point because the one we've got, my back, my sciatica, and my pains, it's completely dipped where I sit. I've replaced the foam before. A replacement piece of foam was like 50 quid or something. So I don't know if we should just try and like save up and get a new sofa. But I won't be able to afford one till at least next year, because when we get back from holiday, it's September. We'll get back on the last day of August. And then I've only got that couple of months to buy everyone's Christmas stuff, and how the fuck I'm going to do it's anybody's guess. And then with the situation with Molly having all these tests, I'm sure all of you that have had pets know what that's like. They were both insured for years. I mean, I think of the amount of money I've fucking paid in insurance, and obviously every year it gets more and more and more because they're older. But then they started to say they wouldn't cover things like cruciate ligaments and stuff, you know, the stuff that normally happens to small breeds. And then, Alan, if you're watching, you'd said about the problems with your pug and the operation for its eye and stuff, and I thought, you know what, we're just going to have to afford it, because vets find a way out of paying out on insurance for everything. If you have something once, well, we're not paying on it again because it's an issue now. So yeah, so we've got the money for bloods and wee tests, and if we have to try and get this other wee test for Cushing's, which is over 100 quid just for the urine test. And he said, but it doesn't tell you for certain if she has it. You would then need more tests, but what it does is, if she doesn't have it, it will rule it out. So it could be like, oh right, it's questionable, she might have it, she might not, or there must be something that rules it out in the test anyway. So there's all that. There's the worry with my dad. We looked into private costs, and I was like, you're going to use that money? And no, I'm not, just wait, it's fine. But unfortunately the waiting list for the private is no different, it's no quicker. So even though his doctor says it's red flag, need to be seen ASAP, and government guidelines are 2 weeks, it's going to be 5 weeks minimum, and that's the week before we go away. I mean, the timing's fucking amazing. We go away on the 16th of August. It is, I think, the 2nd of July today. So we go away in like 6 weeks, and he's been told that his appointment will be a minimum of 5 weeks. So it's going to fall exactly, which is fucking typical, isn't it? So we'll see what happens there. But why do things always, they say things come in threes, so I'm waiting for something else. There's my dad, there's Molly, there has to be some other fucking thing. Honestly, it's like my life can't let me go a few months without stress of some fucking description. We had Darren's situation where we thought he had prostate cancer as well, so thankfully that wasn't the case, but he does have it significantly. The guy at the hospital said it's the largest I've ever seen that doesn't have cancer, and he's still on the waiting list to wait to see a specialist, so he's not having any treatment for it, which isn't good. So yeah, just one thing after another at the minute. But yeah, I think I've caught you up by fucking fate. No, my brain's going to me, should I go and get another spray tan? And you know, because it's worked fine over my body and my face, well, I think my face, this is the lightest one, but is that the one? Have I gone the wrong way? Right, I think have I gone the wrong way? No, is that the right one? Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. I think it's the next one. Yeah, it's the next one. This is this thing on dual carriageways where they have little branches off, and I'm having to branch off, and there's somebody come bombing up the fucking outside of me. I'm like, should I go and have another one and just be a lot more careful about my feet and legs this time. I don't know. You know, it definitely does make you appear slimmer. You know, like your body at 100%, and it hides a plethora of sins and stretch marks and scars and stuff, so it's great for that. But I just, when I catch myself in the mirror, it's like, God, that's weird looking. You can let me know what you think. Do you think I'm better pale, or do you think I look better with a bit of colour? Darren doesn't like it, but I knew he wouldn't, because he likes pale skin. Same as Kira, my friend that lives across the way. Her husband's exactly the same. And she's very pale as well. We've got Celtic complexion. We're very pale because the sun never comes to see us here. But yeah, that's the catch up. That's what's happening at the minute. Sorry that the catch up's just me talking shite in the car at you as usual. You know, there's nothing of any excitement to film for you. But I'll tell you what, I should have filmed the fucking garage before we started. Then again, it will still be an absolute fucking state, so I'll film the garage for you tomorrow. So I have tidied that fucking garage multiple times, and then the next time I go out into it, which could be 6 months, it looks like, if I say to Darren, can you go put that in the garage, he won't find somewhere for it and stack it nicely. He'll just go and fucking chuck it just inside the door. So when I go into the garage, it looks like there's been an explosion, and I feel like crying because I remember the hours and hours and hours of back-breaking effort that I made to do it. I like start a thing, and I'm like a red rag to a bull. I am at it constantly until I cannot stand up until it's done. Darren, on the other hand, likes to take breaks constantly, which was a real bugbear every time we moved house, because I'm going at it constantly all fucking day. He went up to Yorkshire when we moved to Nottingham with his brother in the car to get multiple car loads, and when he left I was at it. When he came back I was still at it, and he got back from sitting on his arse in the car for like 2 hours, and it was like a 2-hour drive, and they unloaded the car into the living room, and then he wanted to sit down and have a break. Meanwhile, I'd been working that entire time he'd been away, like putting everything away, unpacking boxes, moving furniture. No, I wanted to sit down. Fuck! It's just different personalities. He is a person that takes a long time to get to do something, and I'm like, let's get this fucking done now. Let's get it done, dusted, sit back, admire our handiwork. But we've so much to do, because like we're also trying to shampoo my dad's carpets, which to be fair they need replacing, but he has no one. I mean, he won't pay, I think it was 3.5 grand to go private to get all these tests. No, not doing it. Now, if it were much quicker, there'd be an argument happening. But it's not much quicker, so there's no point in me complaining about it. But I mean, when you're sitting with money in the bank and you won't put the fucking heater on to warm your water, and you won't pay for tests for cancer, but you'll go and chuck beer down your neck every fucking night, you know, it's like, it doesn't even fucking equate to me. I'm not even going to wind myself up about it. There's no point. It's like one of my friends says, there's no point. He's going to do what he's going to do regardless of what you say, so just switch your brain off from it and just write. You know, I have to keep telling myself my main concern and worry when my mum was here was that she was cared for and looked after and safe, and obviously that's not a concern now, so I just have to let him get on with it because he's an adult, you know, and he can make his own decisions. There's Isaac over there with Katie. Anyway, that's Isaac back, so I'll switch you off. Hello, it is Sunday, guys. I'm just closing off the vlog for the week. I think all I've done this week really is just talk, isn't it? I can't remember whether, yeah, I think it was this week. No, hang on. Yeah, this week, the stuff about my dad and Molly. We're just going to have to wait for this appointment to come through from it. I don't know if I told you that Darren spoke to... Darren phoned a lot of specialists. I think I did. And basically, we can't get an appointment much earlier. They said the waiting list for just a consultation is 3 weeks, which isn't the scan or anything like that. It's just to see someone, which we've already done at the doctor's, so God knows how long it would take overall. So it's just a waiting game, really. Molly, oh, it's so confusing. The vet called when I was in the car the other day, and you know someone that can talk for half an hour and not actually say anything? And they took bloods and they called back to say the bloods are mostly okay. There's a bit of raised enzyme. Was it liver or kidneys? I think it was kidneys. And then Darren had to drop a wee test in, which he did. They said there was no infection. I'll ask him when he gets in again. Something very slight, but of a dog of Molly's age, she's 14. That's not unusual. So I'll try and get this right. Well, I'll wait till he gets in so I can tell you what the bloods and the wee showed, because the guy spoke for half hour, and at the end of it, it was like, did he say anything whatsoever? So what did the vet say the initial blood test? He's laughing because
Idiot.
the initial blood test and the initial urine test, what did they show? Without talking like he
Hang on, I'll
did
just
for
try to
half
think
hour.
back to the first fucking phone call when he was on about it.
I thought he said they were mostly normal, but there was something very slightly raised in the kidneys, but that's
Yeah.
not unusual for a dog of her age.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But based on the symptoms,
Yeah, I haven't got to that bit yet. I
Right.
just want. So the wee test was the same, wasn't it? There was nothing massive. But so the issue is,
it was just slightly up, but that's normal.
it's nothing
There's no
unusual
problem.
for her age. So basically, in the last few months, Molly has been ravenously hungry constantly. Molly and Dobby are very well fed, probably a little bit too well fed, to be
Yes.
honest with you.
So,
They're well walked, they're well exercised. She's also started drinking a bit more recently. Now, we noticed a couple of times in the last month or so, we noticed wee in the house. Now, we'd been blaming Dobby, because when we got Dobby, she wasn't house trained, and she would have a tendency if she's left too long to wee. And generally, the dogs are never left for
what
too
is it,
long.
like a blood?
But the problem was we had went to Metallica in Dublin, so they'd been left for quite a long period of time. When we got back, there was wee, there was poo, you know. So
There was papers down and stuff that weren't just
so the full access to multiple beds, water, everything they needed. But we'd thought it was Dobby. So a couple of nights ago, or a few nights ago, Wednesday night, Molly was came over and her back legs were wet, and it's like, what's going on there? And Darren went and looked to where she'd been. He said, no, there's no wet there. And then later it happened again, and we realised that she'd weed, but she didn't know she'd weed. Well, she did once she'd done
She
it.
killed my face looking really bloody.
Yeah, Molly doesn't like having accidents. She's a very clean dog, and she was upset about it. So Darren took her upstairs and gave, you know, it's like when she has what Darren calls a clinker. Molly's a very hairy dog, so occasionally if she has a poo, there may be something, but still there afterwards. So basically, she hates it to the point. Molly's a typical dog. She doesn't like a bath, but she likes being cleaned if she's not clean. So Darren would take her into the shower and clean her and stuff. And we took her that night and gave her a lot, and she was happy enough. So she was in at the vet's the very next day, and the vet asked questions like, have you noticed her drinking more than normal? Have you noticed an increased appetite? Everything is tick, 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 Cushing's disease. But when he phoned that time, he talked for half hour and said nothing. Well, after this urine test, we would have to do a very specific urine test, and we would have to do a very specific blood test. And the crux of it was, you're talking hundreds of pounds. Already it cost 170, the initial
for a
appointment.
basic test.
But that's if Molly needs it, Molly needs it. But what he said was a lot of people don't treat for Cushing's because the treatment may make the dog feel worse than if the issue is just her weeing. For a lot of people, basically the idea that I got was there are people that would put their dog down because it's incontinent, and the people that money isn't an option get the treatment because they don't want their dog pissing all over the place.
Apparently it works a bit like chemotherapy in humans. It just makes them feel like shit all the time.
Yeah, so he said it's really up to the individual, but the other crux for us was we can do this test, but it won't tell us conclusively that she definitely has it. It might tell us that she definitely doesn't have it, but they're measuring stress hormone in the body, and one of the tests is they keep the dog in for 8 hours. They measure the stress hormone at the beginning of the time and at the end of the time. If your dog is a nervous, emotional type dog, which Molly very much is, she's quite highly strung, it will show a pulse. It says online it shows a false positive in 20 to 30% of cases. Now, as far as I'm concerned, that is high. Molly is an anxious is the wrong word. She gets really irate and barks when anyone comes near the house. You know, she's quite highly strung, like most Yorkshire Terriers are. It's a breed thing. Or as some people would call them, yappy little shits. But, so we basically said we can do all these expensive tests, but it could be that we cannot definitively tell you whether this is what she has, although every single symptom she has is pointing towards that. But the treatment that she would get probably wouldn't make any difference to her. If anything, it'll make her feel bad, but it will stop the incontinence. He also said there is medication just for incontinence, but they wouldn't give it to us without a definitive diagnosis of Cushing's, which they may or may not be able to do.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't make any sense. That's why I'm going to be speaking to another vet.
Darren basically has been doing a lot of research on it. He's been speaking to a lot of people with experience of dogs with. He's found multiple support groups, and every single one of them are saying, if I had to do this again, I would not put my dog on the treatment because it made their last whatever time they had miserable.
Sick, diarrhea, off the food.
And people are spending like 10 to 12 grand on treatment for their dog for something that's just making them feel awful because that's what they were told. Another thing that's interesting I read was there has never been an instance of Cushing disease diagnosed in a dog that had never been vaccinated, which means apparently something in the vaccines can build up and in certain dogs, especially specific breeds, which Yorkshire Terrier is one, can cause Cushing. It's pretty much definite she has Cushing's. She has every symptom in the book, even down to them saying they can get a pot-bellied appearance, which is happening. We thought we were feeding her too much, but she's not fat round anywhere else, round her hips, her legs, her front is, you know, she definitely has it, but she's happy, she's content, she's eating normally, she's greedy, she's eating more than she should be, but you know, her quality of life is not affected at all. She's just incontinent. You know, I've ordered some washable dog nappies from Amazon, and what a lot of people have said they did was, but you can get disposables, but it's so much more expensive than normal nappies, and obviously the dog's weeing all the bloody time. So people say get cheap incontinence pads like a person would use and put them inside at night time during the day. Mostly you should be able to kind of manage with the other ones if you know, if you're taking her out plenty, and you know, but if you're going out for a period of time, put on the, you know, incontinence. So that's what we're doing at the minute. I've ordered them, so Tesco's going to think I'm incontinent. Oh well. So I've ordered the little pants off Amazon, so we'll see what happens, but yeah, Molly's already got a heart murmur which she's medicated for, and we're getting her 2 things that people have said help is tablets that melatonin basically, which is something that people that don't sleep well would take melatonin. It's like a feel-good hormone that your brain releases, and it lowers cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So melatonin helps lower the stress hormone and makes the dog feel more relaxed. So like round times where there's fireworks, a lot of people would get stuff with melatonin in to calm their dog down. So this is like a herbal thing, and then
Explain what Cushing's was.
something to do with its overproduction of the stress hormone.
It's a little tumour on one of the glands behind the brain. They can't operate on it, and the tumour doesn't cause it any damage apart from it releases too much cortisol.
Yeah. So
And that causes the appetite and the thirst. So the melatonin hopefully counteracts them.
So we've ordered melatonin, and we've ordered a supplement with flax in it, which is supposed to be good as well. It's like we're following advice from an awful lot of people that have been through it and basically are trying to like help other people navigate it, basically. And another thing they all said, which is quite a difficult one, is don't wait for a bad day to, you know, I don't know if you read that. Don't wait until you wake up one morning and you look at your dog and you think, no, you know, obviously your dog would have had to have. I think the optimum time that your dog has left when they're diagnosed is 3 years, but that's like top. Molly's already 14, which for a Yorkshire Terrier is a good age, because purebreds don't tend to live as long as crossbreeds. So 14 is, you know, if she got another 3 years, that would be 17 for a Yorkshire Terrier would be very rare. So that sounds expense quite a bit through the roof. But basically the money that we save every month, constantly more or less, to go to Florida, because this is our last Florida trip, or it will be for a lot of years. We won't be going again unless me and Darren maybe go in the future way down, but I don't think we will, because we're getting older, all the walking, all the heat. I think we'd rather do city breaks like once a year. But all the money, I say all the money, it takes us 4 years of saving every single penny that we have to afford. I'm sure people think probably just a barn for the animals, I would say. You know, how do they afford to go to Florida, blah blah blah, but because we don't drink, we don't smoke, we don't go out and have meals apart from on our anniversary. Even if we do that, which Kelly and Dave always send us money for our anniversary, and that is used, like last year we got a nice Chinese. So we don't treat ourselves to stuff. I don't collect physical media like every other fucker seems to. We don't treat ourselves to shit. And when we do buy stuff we need, like clothes, I'll buy stuff from Temu or Shein, or people going, oh, slave labour, blah blah blah.
Me and my sales reps.
You know, we save any money that we have, and that, you know, like I say, it takes 4 years to do it.
£4 for a hooded top and 40 pence for Spinal Tap badge.
But yeah, but that'll be redirected now to have to get Molly's
Got to look at
meds.
higher protein, lower fat food as well, more higher meat content food, which is apparently good.
Well, you'd think if you're buying dog meat, it's high meat content.
No, they've got everything. The higher meat, the higher the protein, the better, because of the muscle wastage. That's the main
Can you
problem
get
with
like
it.
protein powder for dogs?
I don't know, that's why we've got to look into it.
Yeah, well, this has all happened this week very quickly, and the vet basically has been fuck all use.
Useless. I've never seen that vet before. It's a lad. Every other time I've been at that vet, they've been really good, apart from this lad, who is a shower of shite. Won't give you a straight answer to anything apart from, come on in and we'll do some more tests. Don't worry, the test is only £40 more than the last one you just had, which was 169
Which didn't
quid.
give you any answers. They
So it's
basically
£200 for a
said,
blood test.
he basically said that these tests that we're doing may not give you any answers, and they may actually also give you a false positive.
Yeah.
It's like, so what's the point of it? And you're telling me, so these tests might not answer the questions, but you're also telling me that the medication doesn't really do anything to help my dog other than stop it pissing itself. Yes,
Make it
So,
feel like shit, but it
that's
won't
it.
piss on your rug.
that's, you know what I mean? So nah, it just doesn't make sense to us. So we're going to do what we can to try and help her me and Darren aren't these airy-fairy hippy-dippy, let's try alternative medicine.
No.
You know, you treat yourself as you need, but doing research into this specifically, I don't see the benefit of the medication. It doesn't lengthen lifespan. The dog doesn't have any symptoms that she's uncomfortable or painful. Nothing's hurting. The only thing is that she gets upset when she wheezes. That's it.
Hopefully the melatonin will just take the edge off.
Yeah, but I think, to be honest, as we go forward and it becomes more of a thing that she's doing more regular, I think she'll get used to it. You know, she'll not be as upset, because right now this has only just started happening, and I think it's like, oh right, well, she's pissed again. Ours back in the shower,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it'll just become a thing, you
Gotta
know.
go down and get some baby shampoo this afternoon, and then we've already got the specialist cleaning solution. As far as I'm concerned, she can piss where she wants, just clean it up.
Well, I prefer she didn't piss in the
But
fucking
you know
sofa.
what I mean, though. Some people are like, oh my god, my dog breathed.
We're just going to pick up Isaac from Stevens. So anyway, I'll let you go there. Just the updates at the moment. Nothing else much happening. I can't think of anything next week coming up. Nope. It's taxi service for Isaac's social life right now is what's going on. No plans. My sciatica's been going absolutely crazy, purely because I haven't been moving about enough, because I'm so sore. The muscle soreness from, like, I did that then paperwork one day and I spelt so long bent forwards that it left me in a lot of pain the next day. So because I was sitting down, because I was in pain and tired, the sciatica gets worse because you're sitting down. So I haven't been, there's all these things I need to do and none of them are getting done.
Well, you know what you were saying about saving before.
Yeah.
Even if you just got one Chinese takeaway a week, it's nearly 900 quid a year.
Jesus Christ. Right, anyway,
It soon adds up.
I'll let you go before he comes
Like
into
we're
the car.
getting stared at here by dogs. Oof.
I shall speak to you next week.